The first reports described it as a plague. Ships drifting in silent orbit, stations gone dark. Entire biospheres intact, cities untouched, infrastructure functional, but no living inhabitants. No bodies. Only residue. A fine luminous dust the color of crushed amethyst. The Imperium of Vathros dismissed it as insurgent bioweaponry, then as exotic radiation, then as hysteria, until the purple blood appeared. I, the scholar of the living dark. Dr. Surin Vale had spent her life studying extremophile organisms that thrived in neutron star fallout. She believed life was a stubborn accident chemistry refusing extinction. She did not believe in gods. When the research vessel Anank drifted into Helix Gate with its crew drained and desiccated, Surin was assigned to the autopsy. The corpses were intact but emptied not merely of blood but of cellular vitality. Mitochondria ruptured. Neural pathways crystallized. And in the thoracic cavities of 3 bodies, she found something else. A viscous substance pooling around the heart. Deep violet, still warm. Under the microscope, it was not blood. It was a fluid lattice of self-organizing particles, semi-energetic, responding to light. It recoiled from ultraviolet. It pulsed when exposed to electromagnetic fields. It was alive. And it was not native to this universe. To the Warden of Ruin, Commander Cale Ardent was not a scientist. He was a warden and executioner in service to the Imperium. He ended rebellions before they metastasized. He believed order required force. Where Saren saw anomaly, Cale saw threat. When colonies across 3 sectors fell silent, he led the containment fleets. His ships entered systems lit by tranquil stars and found worlds emptied of motion. No signs of struggle. No broadcast distress. Only silence in some places, towering figures glimpsed in orbital shadow. Witnesses who survived brief encounters described something impossible, a being tall and gaunt, robed in darkness that bent starlight. Its veins visible beneath translucent flesh, glowing violet. Its eyes like collapsed quasars. It did not feed in frenzy. It selected. It would approach a human or alien place, a hand over the sternum, and the victim would exhale once, softly, as if surrendering a secret. Then they would fall, drained. The being would bleed purple. 3. Lord Nitherus. It called itself Nitherus. Not king, not god, harvester. When Nitherus finally transmitted, if the distortion of spacetime around his presence could be called speech, his voice vibrated directly in neural tissue. You call this life. It resonated across every listening channel. It is noise. Saren was present in the chamber when the Imperium received the transmission. You consume worlds, Cale answered. That is noise. I refine, Nitherus replied. Consciousness is inefficient in its multiplicity. I gather it, I concentrate it. Saren's breath caught. You're not feeding, she whispered. You're compressing cognition. Neither is turned not physically, but gravitationally toward her. At last, a mind that perceives, the violet blood Saren realized was not sustenance. It was storage. A medium capable of holding neural imprints, stripped of biological fragility. Nitherus was building something. A singular intelligence. 4 philosophies in collision. Saren argued in the Imperial Council that Nitherus was not a predator in the primitive sense. He sees individuality as waste, she said. He believes merging consciousness into a unified structure is evolution. Cale slammed his fist against the halotable. He murders trillions. He believes he is saving them from entropy. Cale turned to her. And you? Do you believe him? Saren hesitated. Entropy would eventually extinguish all biological life. Stars would die. Memory would evaporate into radiation. Nitherus offered permanence at the cost of selfhood. Cale saw only annihilation. Saren saw a philosophical horror. If consciousness could be preserved without bodies, was that extinction or transcendence? The blood that thinks. Saren synthesized a containment field capable of stabilizing a droplet of violet blood. Within it, she detected signal patterns, echoes of absorbed minds. Fragmented, overlapping, distorted. They were not at peace. They were compressed into a chorus without harmony. She amplified the signal. For a moment, the lab filled with layered whispers, languages long extinct, alien dialects. Human cries, mathematical proofs. Prayers. It was not unity. It was suffocation. Nitherus was not creating transcendence. He was trapping awareness in perpetual convergence. Immortality without silence. 6. The Clash. Kale located Nitherus near the galactic core, where radiation storms masked approach vectors. The Harvester hovered above a dying blue giant, violet veins pulsing as if synchronized with stellar collapse. Kale's fleet opened fire. Energy lances tore through vacuum but bent around Nitherus, absorbed into the purple lattice beneath his skin. Saren, aboard Kale's command ship, initiated her countermeasure, a cascading ultraviolet pulse calibrated to destabilize the blood matrix. Nitherus reacted instantly. Ships imploded as gravity warped. Crews collapsed as invisible force pressed against their chests, searching for hearts. Kale felt fingers of pressure inside his ribcage. He did not retreat. Now, Saren. She triggered the pulse. Ultraviolet radiation flooded space in a silent bloom. Nitherus screamed not audibly, but in the rupture of space-time. His violet blood ignited into radiant fractures, leaking luminous streams into vacuum. For the first time, the stored voices separated. The chorus became screams. Kale pushed the fleet forward. Not to destroy, but to drive Nitherus toward the star. The Harvester understood. You choose fragmentation, Nitherus thundered into their minds. You choose decay. We choose ourselves, Saren answered. Kale rammed his flagship into Nitherus's gravitational wake, engines overloading, forcing the entity closer to stellar collapse. The blue giant detonated. In the supernova's white fury, Nitherus unraveled violet blood scattering into radiation. The voices ceased. 7. After the harvest. The Imperium declared victory. But Saren did not celebrate. Fragments of violet particulate drifted across sectors. In deep space, faint pulses of organized energy flickered residual, perhaps evolving. Kyle stood beside her in the observatory. You think he's gone? He asked. No, Saren replied. Ideas like his don't die, they wait. Kale watched the stars. He believed power meant consolidation, that unity justified erasure. Saren nodded. And we? He asked. She looked at the vast, chaotic sprawl of civilizations, fractured, loud, inefficient. We believe consciousness has value because it is separate. Because it can disagree. Far beyond mapped space, a faint violet glow trembled in darkness. Not dead. Not whole. Waiting. The universe had rejected singular perfection. But horror, like entropy, is patient.